Prof. It. Professor It, otherwise known as T.P. Leakey, who human anthropologist who discovered it and continues to catalog it whenever possible, wherever it is located, wherever it shall be, you shall endeavor to find it. This, for example, is my Spice Captain uniform. I got my cap and I got my official Star Trek on here. Who's that guy from TV Ontario? Paikin or something?
Steve Paikin?
He was at the market today. He had to come over and he says, "Is that an official Star Trek?" And I said, "I think so. It has a little tag in it." He says, "Well, what does the symbol mean?" And I'm like, well, "I don't know what the new symbols mean. Maybe E's for engineering. Otherwise, I'm in red, so I'm probably going to be vaporized." So he agreed with that. So, and his son thought that Samurai Champloo was the neatest show, so he'd heard of what I was doing. I guess the idea was to create or what I would call the ultimate multi-fandom event. I'm really in favor of this thing that on the internet they call multi-fandom, which is just like loving everything. Okay. It's like you love Doctor Who, you love Sherlock Holmes, you love Star Trek, you love Star Wars. You just one love, right? So it doesn't matter what mythology or what idea or you're pulling from. It's the sort of the common thread of pop culture. And it's my language. I can talk pop culture up and down. I can melt your ears with pop culture. And so I like this multi-fandom thing. So I said, well, let's have an event. And we're going to have some crazy events. We call it Mad Skills Competition. Like Mime Strongman, who can do the best version of a strongman, but in mime, right? Yeah. And we got hula hoop and air guitar, hacky sack. We're doing trivia because Ashley and I ended up as trivia champions at the Legion 3 months in a row. So we decided we're going to do our own trivia night, limbo contest, and we're going to have an open mic. I'm going to be the MC. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, we're doing all the funding for this through crowdsourcing and our antilandmine.com project. Okay. Our eventual goal, we're trying to raise about $5,000 in order to do something which is like a more regular event. We'd like to actually have movies. We talked to a company who is responsible for licensing for small venues, and we could basically get the same kind of license as a library would have. And so we could rent the hall, I don't know, once a month or once a week, if but we would need to pay them a certain amount for the license, and then you got to mail DVDs back and forth, and just like a couple other things you have to do to meet the requirements. And we also eventually need to get a digital projector and a screen as well, so it'd be like a nice experience for folks. So we're trying to see if we can fund that by creating like this one-time event to sort of get interest together. One of the important things, or one of the questions I want to ask is like, having a crazy one-day event was my best idea for attracting attention. What's your best idea? To me, the ultimate event would be one that took Highway 540 and 542, and it was bumper-to-bumper traffic to the point that everybody on the side of the roads had to work together to make sure everybody was fed. That would be the ultimate event. Like, it's just everybody had to get there. Well, my shoot the moon philosophy, aim for the far point. So if we managed to get 2 or 3 extra visitors to town, it would be kind of cool. Yeah. And it's sort of a starting ground for things.
Sure.
I'm also doing a chainmail convention as part of it. That's my gig is chainmail. So we're going to have a chainmail market. Nobody's signed up for it yet because it was kind of short notice, but we're going to have some of my stuff on display. And I also teach chain to anybody who wants. So I think that's kind of neat. And also for people who say, oh, like, you're not going to futz for doing something on short notice. We've got this new space on...
Wait, I got to remember that one.
Knuckin' futz. Dylan, you must be knuckin' futz. Well... we have this space on the waterfront now, which is our wharf building at the Harbor Center. Yeah. So we've opened a little gallery, and we call it Whites, capital WHYTES. And we got some of Dad's art, kind of like a retrospective of stuff from his private collection over the years. We have my chainmail book, some of my chainmail work, some chainmail work from some other people, and a few other select artists, and.
Do you guys have a?
Yeah. We got this. Yeah, we rented the space. Today's our opening day, basically. Oh, okay. And we were a little late getting down there, but it was kind of an early market. We were up to 5:30 in the morning doing the little advertisements, and we were up to before that. We were at the shop to 3 getting it all set up.
Okay. You would Ashley, eh?
Yeah. It's primarily going to be her space, but she works over here at Former Flame on Saturdays, so I need to mind the shop. So what I'm going to do is anybody who wants to come by the shop on Saturdays and learn anything about chainmail, I'll teach it to them. So this is the best attraction I can think of for Dylan until I'm a famous comedian or actor or whatever. My goal is still to explain everything in the universe and make all these like amazing sort of discoveries or whatever. I think at this point I can pretty much explain all of existence in terms of it.
Okay.
And so this event is going to be the first demonstration of it. And it's a very interesting thing because it just, and you can hear me using it grows like a snowball. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. It sounds like, it's just a little thing to begin with, and by the end of it you're like, oh my goodness, this is really amazing. This is a very strange and unusual discovery and worth looking into.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's basically it. We're doing it, it says on their Virgin Bar, because we had to do it in short notice and we're paying out of our own pockets, we couldn't afford doing a licensed event. And the truth is, and it's like, I don't want to be a self-righteous person about it or anything, but as far as I'm concerned, if you need alcohol in order to have a good time, it doesn't have to be a necessity. There's other ways to have fun. As far as I can figure, and this is sort of part of my Professor It shtick, is that as an IT professional, the greater majority of the problems that happen in this world happen mostly because people take things too seriously and really need to learn how to lighten up. And so I'm really into dedicating myself to the cause of humor. And so everything that I'm doing now, I'm putting towards my study of humor so I can bring basically more humor into the world, which I figure is a really neat thing to do. I'm really looking forward to being able to do stand-up comedy and doing more writing and whatnot. And that's the other part of the open mic. If we get donations over what we're asking for, and I'm going to really push for this next couple of weeks, we're going to offer some really neat perks. Like I have Stanley's sweaty shirt from Greater Tuna. It's like there's like a unique item, and I'm gonna go home and photograph it and do the little story of it. And it's like, here's a perk, or here's the halls I didn't eat backstage, or today somebody took one of my boats and they photoed it into a beautiful origami sparrow. Okay. There's one of the perks we're gonna give away. Like they're all unique and special things, especially that we can send out to fans in other places. And so the idea is that if we go over our $5,555 we need for the event. What's left over, half of it, we're asking for $5,555 because that gets us our $5,000 and plus pays all the fees involved with using the Indiegogo service.
Oh, okay.
So anything over and above that, we're going to split between me as the MC for the contest and whoever the winner of the open mic contest is. So if you come out to the open mic contest, and I'm hoping that folks will come out and we can get some other comedians and stuff like that, there's a chance that there might be a prize, but no guarantees. Sure. Well, we'll find a prize of some sort. We're going to have like trophies and certificates or something like that. But there might be, but we have to get people interested in it.
Sure.
So I've tied it to as much as I can think of. I got the anti-landmine, and I have Professor It, and all the other sort of market strategies that we've been putting together through our freelance promotion company is what I call it. Mm-hmm. We need promotion here, so freelance promotion. Sure. And then I'm working on actually a book on that title. And I'm hoping, I don't know, we got to get through the event and see how much time we have afterwards. But I'm basically trying to take all of my market experience from over the years and put it together with some ideas on how people can make simple market businesses, and especially virtual businesses like selling stuff online. Oh, the It Ching has become our bestseller yet with Infiniplex Press. Just like almost instant hit, a 99-cent ebook. How can you go wrong, right? And getting really, really excellent reviews. Yeah. People like it and like the originality. Hold on to that one page you have of it. It's signed, so it might be worth something at some point. This one's signed too. Actually, the boat I gave you was a mistake that came out of the printer backwards. I set it up so people could fold off the top, and you need a square to make an origami dragon, and that's what the instructions explain. Don't you have I murder the word origami? I love that. So you can normally rip off the top and like send in your suggestions, but I printed that one backwards. So in terms of like geek era collectibles, that's a signed one of a kind misprint. So there you go. It's got some. Well, this is part of like part of being a positive force in selling yourself is to see value in your things. Sure. That is going to be worth millions of dollars someday. because I, as the creator of it, have invested it with this force of such interest, and I have to believe these things. I have to fill myself with these positive affirmations for it to be anything. Well, there it is. Maybe it'll be worth more if it was never opened. But on the other hand, you may never know the story of Gore the Dragon, and the only place you can find the story of Gore the Dragon is in. Well, I did 65. That's 65 copies of the print as special edition for today. But I'm going to go online now. If I don't fall asleep first, I might need to get some sleep at some point. But when I do have some more spare time, I'm going to go on and put it up as a PDF for people to download for free. Because I feel that like anybody can come and look at the it's of interest to them. So that's like basically Dylan's week in Gore Bay.
All right, well we'll put something together.
I heard about somebody, and they were in the paper 3 weeks in a row, and that means they're famous. So I want to make sure that Dylan's story is getting the paper 3 weeks in a row.
Paper 3 weeks in a row. Must have been a counselor.
I forget who it was, but they were just like, well, I was just, I'm like, well, I got to beat that. Maybe I'll be in the paper 4 weeks in a row.
Believe me.
Maybe you'll be calling me next time.
I'm in there every week, and it's no big
Never
deal.
has gotten anywhere. Oh, maybe next time.